Salam alaikum. Walaikum salam.
So, welcome to another episode of Latino World Travelers virtual travel party. Today we have with us Eric, the travel puppy, and he's going to talk to us about Egypt. So, I cannot wait for him to talk to us about everything that Egypt has to do, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So, my name is Eric. I'm from Philadelphia. On Instagram, I go by the Travel Poppy. If any of y'all don't follow me, y'all should. So, I mean, where do we want to start? Like, all right, I'll start with the picture. I'll start with that. Let me see. Are y'all able to share? Let me see if I'm able to share the screen. See, I'm not able to share the screen right now.
Okay, make you host. You should be able to.
Let me see. All right.
Are you able to?
1 second.
But just tell us, where was the picture taken? When did you go? What did you do?
So let me see. Did it screen share? Because it said it did. Okay. So the picture was taken in Abu Simbel. That's in Aswan, Egypt. That's like South Egypt. About a 13-hour train ride from Cairo.
Wow. Did you take the train all the way down there?
Yeah, that's one of my stories. Yeah, I did take the train. I did take the train all the way down there. It was rough. But this picture, I mean, it was part of a tour. We actually boarded a tour. It was a Nile River cruise. And so from this Nile River cruise, we had a tour guide, and the tour guide would take us to multiple places. And from Aswan to Luxor and then back to Cairo. Well, from Luxor, we took the train back. But this was like the Temple of Ramses. It was interesting, like listening to like all the history behind everything. I think I got templed out. Like I did so many temples, and it was just like, yeah, like I think I need to go to a club. Like I need to drink or something, like, because it wasn't like that. It's not like a destination like I feel like other people like are used to. Like I feel like if you go there, okay, you're there for a couple of days, but I was there for like 9 days. So I was it was like overwhelming to constantly like see history and temples. But I would say like it is like it's somewhere you have to go regardless. It's like you can't that's something you just have to see, like all the history behind everything, like in being there, and then you're just thinking like, damn, like back in the day, ancient times, everybody used to be here, and the pharaohs and all this good history behind it. It was really interesting, like, and to see mummies and things like that, like I saw in Cairo. But this picture was it's one of my favorite pictures. It was like so hard to get because it was a billion tourists there.
I can't imagine.
Quick question. When was this trip?
This trip was literally, let me see, I think I left to go there February 23rd, and I got back like March 1st.
How was the weather during February?
It was cold. It was chilly. Like I would say, like at night it was like 40 degrees, and then during the day it would be like 60, 61 around there. So like I wasn't expecting that. I'm expecting it to be super hot, but I did like look up the weather. So I did pack clothes, like long sleeves and jeans and stuff like that. Of course, when we went down south later on to my story, that's when like it got warmer like throughout the day. Like it was definitely like, let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. It was definitely like a little warmer down there, and so you could wear like short sleeve shirts and some shorts. But if you're gonna be in Cairo in February, it's difficult, like really difficult with the weather, like, and a lot of like hustle and bustle, winds, like dust blowing everywhere. But I mean, I would say like I did appreciate like learning about the culture. Like I had like a tour guide every day. We had a tour guide that we met. It was just like a personal tour guide. It was this one guy, and he just took me and my friend around like the whole day. And then later on that night, he took us to like a cruise ship to eat dinner. which was really deep.
Mm.
Other than that, like even the next day, I took like a city tour of Cairo of like the more like modern stuff, which was kind of cool as well. And we got to see like a lot of like biblical things, like where they say Jesus Christ slept. Like it was just like a lot of like interesting like things that were like going on. Like it was a lot to take in. Like in the time frame I was there, like to go back to back to back to back, like just to remember everything was like a lot to take in. It was like the most history like I've ever like devoured at one time. I'm just like, all right.
Wow.
It was just, but I did appreciate the trip. Like it wasn't that I disliked it, but it was like a lot of weird little things that happened throughout the trip. Like we spent 3 days in Cairo, and then we had paid about $500 to take this Now cruise from Aswan up to Luxor. So we had to take the train. And this is where everything started getting a little tricky, because the first part of the trip, like going to the pyramids, seeing the camels, which I have like, let me see if I could like change this a little bit. Like even like when I took this photo, like this wasn't, everything was going very smooth, and I was like happy with the trip, and like it was just like, all right, you know what, like I love it here. The food was good. Like it was very
Where
similar.
was that?
This was the hotel I stayed in was pyramidized, so it wasn't like appealing from the outside. So like if you're like, it's like in this little area, it looks kind of like sketchy, but when you go in, it's nice. Like you're like, oh, this is like really nice on the inside, but at first like you're just like, all right, this is weird. Like I don't want to walk in here, but it was definitely like a nice hotel. Like it had a nice view, it had a nice balcony. Like I would definitely stay here again if I did go back. But yeah, the first couple of days of the trip, when I took the pictures, like this picture and this picture, like these days were like I was having like a really like good time. Like I was like, all right, this is like fun, like seeing all the culture and the history. It started getting tricky like once I like the day that we were supposed to leave on the train, it was at night and it was storming like super hard. And like I only had like a little hoodie because I was like, even though I didn't pack super light, like I didn't bring that many like sweaters and jackets and stuff. I only brought like one hoodie, one jacket, and it was pouring. Like my sneakers were drenched, and we were like, the train station was only about 15 minutes from like our hotel, and we went to the train station and we met up with this guy. I didn't know who I was looking for, and he gave us like the ticket to get on the train, and then he was like, all right, well, this is the train you have to get on. You're going to be on the first train over there. And then I still didn't know what he was talking about because, they're talking really fast. And Arabic is, like the Arabic accent is like, it was difficult for me to understand, even though I always understand like accents well because I am Hispanic. So I hear the accents and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to understand. And he's like talking, it seems like angry, like they're talking angry, but they're really not. Like I did say when I left, I said that Arabic is a very angry language, like, and I was like I felt bad like saying that, but it felt like a really angry language, and like you always hear people like, I don't know if they're arguing or they're talking to each other, and then you would think they're talking to each other, but then me and my roommate who went with me to Egypt, we turned around and then people were fighting. I'm like, oh my god, like we're at the train station like watching fights. I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen, like.
So you booked the trains yourself. How much did it cost?
So when we paid for the $500 that we paid for the cruise, they included the ticket in there. So when the person picked us up from the hotel, he didn't hand us the ticket. He bought the ticket while we waited for him at the train station. Then he gave it to them and basically told us to go ahead, like, enjoy your time. Like, get on that train. And then I'm just like, are you sure this train? He's like, yeah, and tell us to go. So I'm looking for my seats, and the train was just like dirty, and it smelled like pee. It was just like so bad for me. Me and my roommate were just like, dang, like it's stinking here. But we didn't know what it was. But there was a bathroom right above, and the door kept swinging open, and it was just like, it was like going into a porta potty, like the portable toilets and stuff, and it was just like bad. I was like, oh man. So we were on the trip thinking that was gonna be for like, I think we thought 10 hours. Yeah, me and my roommate thought it was like 10 hours, and then it came out to be 13 hours. Like, and we
Wow.
every time the 10th hour came, we thought, oh, it's 10. Oh, we about to get off soon. And he was like, are you sure? And I'm like, I think so. But it just kept going. And I'm just like, oh my God, I think we're gonna go. I didn't know I thought we were going to Luxor first. But the thing is, with the tour, people didn't like specify it. So like, I feel like it was the misorganization of the tour guides, like not sharing things with us correctly. So we're thinking that we're gonna be there for 10 hours, and then it ends up being 13. So then we're already crabby and upset. Like we don't even want to like do anything. So and then we get off the train, 13th hour, it's like sunny outside, it's warm, and then we don't even know who we're looking for. We're just like, what do we do now? And then it stops in the middle platform. The train stops in the middle platform, and then you see people crossing, like jumping down the train track, crossing with their bags, throwing it over. I'm like, are we supposed to do that? Like I was like, I don't even know if we're supposed to do this. Like, should we like jump over the platform? Like I was just sitting there confused. So we kept walking like along, and then we ran into some guy, and he was screaming my name, and then we just ended up going with him because he was like, apparently he was the guy who was supposed to pick us up. And then
Well, how did he know it was you, though? I mean, he had a picture.
he was screaming like my name, and then I was like, I don't think there's no other Erics around here. So I'm like, all right. So he was like, Eric, like that. So I was just like, Eric Garced, and he was like, yes, you come with me. I'm just like, okay. So I just went with him, and he was with like this other like an Asian couple, and we just went with them.
Okay.
And I was just like, all right. After that, it was a little smoother, and then it was like other things that started happening, which was like awkward. Like, and I'm just like, okay. So like it was like that. I feel like, to me, to be honest, I feel like Cairo is really nice because you get to see like, you know, the pyramids and all the touristic stuff that we learned about when we were younger. But I feel like if you want nicer weather, you will go down to down south, which is more greener. Like you would think like it's more desert, but it's actually really green down south Egypt. Like I enjoyed the weather down there, and I enjoyed the scenery more. But when it came to like knowing where I was at, I trusted Cairo a little bit more. But I feel like in Cairo, I feel like the people are more like aggressive. Like they're trying to, sell you things. They're like beeping, honking. People are crossing the street playing Frogger. Just like, there's a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of like dirt, like a lot of trash everywhere. And I didn't expect that. Like I didn't expect it to be like a third world country. Like, and it really was. And I was just like, wow, like it just took me back compared to like I went to Thailand before, and I thought that was gonna be worse, but actually Cairo was worse than that. So it was like a very interesting experience. And when we went down to Luxor, like I did the hot air balloon. I actually just posted that picture. Like we did a hot air balloon, and like that was like a good time. Like that was like the first time I ever experienced a hot air balloon, and I feel like Luxor had like a lot of like green. I can see like the green scenery and stuff like that. So.
And this was all coordinated by that travel company?
Yeah, but
how much was it?
There was always like hidden fees that we didn't know about. Like so altogether it was 500, but then you want the hot air balloon, that's an extra 100. You want this added, that's an extra 100. And like honestly, I don't even remember the conversion rate right now because I know I spent so much money down there. Like I went down there with a budget, and I came back spending like a lot more than I thought I was gonna spend. I mean, I feel like tourists are really like geared toward, like they'll go after you. Like they think you have money, they're definitely gonna go like, sell you this, sell you that. And then a lot of times like you feel bad. You feel like, okay, well let me just like purchase this and purchase that, and then you end up broke down there. Every time we went, like instead for the tours, when we went to visit every temple, we had to pay the fee to go into the temples. It wasn't already included, and we didn't even know that either. So every time that we got to a temple, we had to pay more. And I'm just like, all right, this is why like I started getting like annoyed. I'm like, all right, I'm spending a lot of money, like, and I don't even feel like doing this right now. So I feel like if I was to recommend somebody go to Egypt, I would say literally go for like 5 days, do 2 days in Cairo, 3 days in Cairo, and then fly to Luxor don't take. I wouldn't like recommend taking the train, like unless you do the sleeper train, which is another $100, and then you have like your little bunk beds to stay in and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, another issue that was it wasn't an issue, but I do have a beard, so they thought I was Arabic.
Yes, I see that. Oh, Eric, I'm sorry, because I changed it to make you host. It's not letting me add people, so you have to add the people. If you see at the bottom where it says participants, there are people waiting to get in, so just click admit.
All right, I'm doing it now.
Sorry, it's just that for you to share the screen, I had to make you host. That's what was happening. Oh my God, there were a lot of people in. Sorry about that, guys.
All right,
okay, thank you.
All right. So, yeah, another thing that was very interesting is like the beard thing. I didn't know, like, okay, you know, Muslims have beards, or like I didn't know how deep it was until I went over there. It was very interesting how they treated me, actually, because a lot of them would actually talk to me in Arabic, and I would tell them like, no, I'm American. Da da da. My tour guide had to literally like. There's a lot of like militia walking around, like a lot of military people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something like my tour guide actually told me that there was something going on with the Muslim Brotherhood and the government. So like they don't allow like Muslims to go into certain places. Like it was like really interesting. Like so every time I would stop somewhere, they would like literally grab me by my shirt. And it was like, oh, like they would start talking, and then like the guy was like, oh no, these Americans for me. Like it was just like really awkward. Like sometimes I felt nervous. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm about to just go back to the hotel room and just like shave my facial hair, like because I'm not trying to go through this every time I go somewhere. And it was literally every time we went to like a temple, every time we visited a historical site, it was like, oh no, are you Muslim? Are you from here? Da da da. Asking me questions like passport, everything. So like that was like another thing. I didn't know it was such a big deal. Like a lot of Muslims there, they don't have beards or anything, or if you do have a beard, you're part of the Brotherhood. So to me, like I correlated that into like, oh, like the Brotherhood is like a gang type thing here, and there's like a feud going on. So it was like. It was really interesting, actually. It would happen every time. And then my roommate would, like, look at me and be like, yeah, I think we're about to get stopped again. So that was another thing that kind of, like, hold on a second. I'm going to improve here.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing that kind of, like, affected, like, my views of Egypt. Because I was, like, literally going through that every day. Another crazy incident was I had called an Uber from the train station coming back at the end of the trip back to Cairo, and my Uber missed his exit. So instead of like, we were on the highway. So instead of like waiting to the next exit, he stopped and started going in reverse on the highway.
Oh.
So it was like, I was just like, oh, I was like, oh, I'm about to die. I think,
wow.
This is the end.
Sounds like Italy.
That was such like that was like the ending of the trip, and I'm looked at my roommate. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing this again. Like, Egypt is a no for me. Like, like I'm going through too many things. Like, it wasn't like I don't know. Like I really like he was just swerving, and the thing is, traffic was coming, and he was doing this through traffic, and I'm just like, and there's like trucks and buses and honking, and I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm like, I just didn't say.
He was trying to go back to the exit that he was supposed to get out?
Yeah, he was trying to go back to the exit that he was supposed to get off. But
oh, wow.
The exit was already like at least 3 minutes behind, and he was just started speeding reverse, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, and this is the last day here, and I'm just like, oh, I'm ready. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it back home.
Wow. It's crazy that you had such an experience, because when I went last summer. I spent a month there, and I had such a great time. But I mean, the temperature was 116 degrees Fahrenheit. I love the heat. You don't even sweat at that point because it dries off automatically. Like, so, and I loved it because the beach was amazing. They have the beach in Hurghada. I was like, this is here? I'm coming back here all the time.
How did you like Egypt though? Like not Egypt, Cairo, like itself.
I mean, I went in 2012, right after the revolution, and then I went last year. And Cairo, I mean, I was staying with a friend. She lives there. She teaches there in an international school.
Mhm.
So she lives close to the embassy and she lives close to the school. And we were more in an area where like the locals live, not where the tourists go necessarily. And we had a great time. Every day we went out to different places, chicha bars, ice creams, you know, connecting with the people there. There is a very large expat community there too. And they have these private, like country clubs, I want to call it, that you have to become a member. And like the school planned all of these events for all the new teachers. And they took us to all of these places to show them what is life here. And I was thinking I could live here. It was so nice. And they're constructing the new Cairo now, which is like a brand new city.
Yeah.
So
I did drive past that when they were like on the construction doing that.
yes.
It was just like, I think if it wasn't for like I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. Like I feel like if I did more research and before I went, it was kind of like, it was a choice between going to Egypt or going to South Africa. And I was just like, all right, whatever flight is cheaper, that's the one we're going to do. So we ended up doing Egypt. And then I feel like if I had like a day between everything, like I could like rest and like then wake up the next day and do something else, then I would have had more of a good time because I felt like I was already running on fumes. It was like knowledge overload. I feel like I visited every temple that I could visit. Like, I don't think that my next trip, I just want to be on the beach and drinking something. I don't even want to like know anything about history for a long time after this because it was just like, I was very interested in it. Even when I got back home, I was watching like videos, documentaries. I was still interested. It was just like, damn, this is a lot to take in at the time. And I was already getting irritated. I'm just like, all right, you know what? This is not. To do it like back to back, like you need like space. You need to like breathe in between.
Yeah.
Breathe in between, and you're not going to enjoy yourself.
Definitely break it down and maybe make it to Alexandria. Because Alexandria is in the northern area and it's more like a party scene. And it's also the beach. So maybe incorporating that or Hurghada, so it's not like temples the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it could get tiring.
Like when I went down to Luxor, like I was, the difference between North Egypt and South Egypt it's crazy. Like it's like a whole different world. Like North Egypt is like a trillion people, but like in South Egypt is like slow. It's like your life slows down. Like everybody's like they're in like their donkeys, their little carriages. Like it's more like, I don't know, like agriculturally like more beautiful than the city, of course. So like I definitely enjoyed being down there more. I enjoyed the temperature being in South Egypt more. But it was just like the little things that happened with like the train and like even the ride back was tough. Like it was just exhausting. And then the tour people actually dropped us off at the end of the tour it was like a Friday. They dropped us off at a random hotel because we weren't allowed back to our cruise ship. We checked out. So they dropped us off at a random hotel and said, all right, wait here in 3 hours. 3 hours that somebody was going to pick us up and take us back to the train station. And we sat there for 3 hours doing nothing, just like waiting for somebody to pick us up.
Wow.
And then they picked us up and then they drove us literally 10 minutes away. And I was looking at everybody like, we could have walked. Like I would have walked this instead of just waiting here. And then another 13 hours straight back up. So it was just like exhausting. And then the tour guide ends up telling us, oh, we don't have a ride for you. We don't have a ride for you to get back. Like, we don't have a ride for you to get back to your hotel. So you're going to have to figure it out. And I'm just like, so they gave us like some Egyptian money for an Uber. And then that's when the Uber incident happened. And I was like, it's like it was just things that wasn't going like every time I go on a trip, usually like everything really goes as planned. Like I haven't had like a lot of mishaps, and I feel like this is the only one I haven't sitting here trying to figure out connect to Wi-Fi, trying to find a hotspot somewhere, and I was just going like I was just getting irritated. I was like,
so the travel company. Can you tell us which one it was so we make sure we never use that one? Because it seems like they were the issue, not really the country itself.
Yeah, I have to. Right now, like, I don't even remember what it's called. Like I think it's like We Love Egypt Tours or something like that. Like I did a review, on but like I felt bad. Like every time I do a review, I feel really bad. Like I don't want to like mess up their company or whatever. But it was just like a lot of
if they're not offering a good service, like
like and that's the thing. Like it could like their tour person that they gave us was great. Like he was funny, he was interactive, but the fact like the things that they made us figure out by ourselves, and we were also with a group of people, some from India, some from Japan, and it's like everybody had a language barrier, and we were all trying to understand. It's like we were like a little family trying to figure out things to figure out how to get. So it's like everybody's looking out for each other, but then tour people just left us, like deserted, and we're just like, all right, I guess this is how our life's gonna be for now. Trying to figure this out. Even at the end of the train, we didn't even know where to get off because there was no like words in like English. It was all Arabic language, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm getting off at. Like, I just took a leap of faith and got off wherever I wanted to get off at, and then I was good, and then we got lucky. But actually, the people that were with us, they stayed on because they didn't know. And I said, we're getting off, and they said, no, we're gonna stay on. And I'm like, all right. And they were supposed to get off at the same stop as us. So after that, God bless them because I don't know what happened to them. It was just like a lot of weird things that was going on. It was just like, so I don't think that I'll go back to Egypt unless like I follow what you said, and then like.
What I see most people do is that they either take a cruise from Cairo all the way down, and they just get off in a one day, like to each destination, or they take a airplane from Cairo to Luxor, which is maybe $50 to $100. It depends when you buy it. It could cost even $200 something, and then stay for a couple of days in Luxor, and then take a cruise, a 2 day, 3 days cruise to go to Aswan, and then come back, fly all the way to Cairo. It's less time. The flights are usually 7 in the morning, so you catch the first flight in the morning, and you're there by 8:30. And then you can still go out and enjoy the day.
Yeah, I definitely, like, that's what I've been telling people, like, I wouldn't say not to go because it's still beautiful and you still, like, should have those things. But I would just say, like, fly because the train thing, like, it was so overrated. And I wasn't paying $100 to $150 more to sleep on the train. Like, I sleep on some random bed sheets, like, I wasn't going to pay for that. And this was like when the Corona thing all started. So I was already like nervous, like, all right, here we go. Like I'm over here touching dirty seats. Everything was dirty. Like the train was not clean, not sanitary at all. Like it was just bad. So like I would definitely recommend people to take the flight to the other area of Egypt because it's way.
Was there like a first class option that you could have taken instead?
So the first class option was the sleeper part of the train, which is like you have like a little room and you have bunk beds and that's it. Like that was the first class option.
Right.
I had like first class seating, like you could put the seat back, but it was still like very unsanitary. Like it was really dirty for the situation that we were all already getting nervous with this Corona thing. It was super dirty. Like it's like I didn't want to touch anything. I was just like sitting there the whole time, just like this. Like
so, gloves and wipes.
A lot of gloves and wipes. Even after all this, I would still say if somebody wanted to see, I wanted to do like the tough way. Like I always wanted to experience things. So I learned my lesson. Like, and maybe I should pay a little more for luxury, but I wanted to experience like the real. Like I want to experience. I was on the train with all Egyptians, and like I didn't feel out of place because it's like. They would look at my roommate and know he was a tourist, but with me, they didn't know I was a tourist. Like, they were just like you look just like us. Like, one of the guys like, oh, you look Egyptian. You look exactly like us. So nobody would sit here and think that you're not Egyptian. So like that, it was like a positive, but it was like still a negative because I got stopped by the militia. Military was always like, asking me who I was, and I didn't understand the language, and it was just, I don't know. Like honestly, like if I would go back just to go to Alexandria, but that's it. Like I wouldn't go back for a long period of time anymore, just because like I already, I had my taste of Egypt, and then I'm good.
Okay. Very
So,
good.
I
Do
mean,
you guys have questions for him? If you're in Instagram, make sure you. Oh, how long were you there for? You said 10 days, right?
yeah, I
9
was
days?
there 9 days.
How was the food and the prices?
The food, I surprisingly love the food. Like I love the food. Like I'm not a big hummus person, but like I was trying everything. Like they have like the shish kebab type thing with the chicken on the stick, but they had like the rice was super good. Like their potatoes are super. Everything was really good. I was really surprised with the food. Like I didn't think I was gonna like the food, but I love the food. Like I could go back. I felt like I was eating like a sub category of Hispanic food. Like it tasted similar, but it wasn't. So they also had something called like rice with milk, and it was like the best dessert I've ever had in my life. I think I ate that like at least 4 times a day. I was eating that rice with milk.
Wow.
The
So
prices.
what about, how did you see the treatment of women over there, or foreign women travelers?
As women travelers, I feel like I feel like it's fine. I feel like it's women travelers are respected, but I would say that the treatment of women over there is like it's actually sad to see. Actually, I would say that I didn't see a lot of women. I honestly seen the majority of men. Like 80% that people I've seen was all men. Women don't work in stores of like selling clothes or anything like that, like the guys do. The jewelry, they don't do none of that. They don't sell none of that. They're not allowed to do anything like that. The lady that worked at the hotel, she was actually WhatsApping me before I got there, and she was super nice. And I was like, oh my God, this lady's gonna be she's gonna be so nice when I meet her. I can't wait to meet her. When I got there, I tried to say hi, but she was next to a man. She didn't say anything to me. Like she looked at the man, and then the man spoke to me. So it was just like really interesting. And I was like, oh wow, like, like I guess like I can't sit here and speak to women or interact like I could in America or anywhere else. It's just not the same. Like I really didn't. It just imagine I'm a man, so 10 days full men, all men everywhere. And I'm just like, you didn't have no interaction with women. The travelers though, women travelers, of course, I met people from Germany and stuff like that, and they were all cool, and everybody's treated fine if you're a tourist. But I couldn't even tell you what an Egyptian woman sounds like, to be honest. Like, they don't even say a peep.
And did all the women travelers, did they wear, head coverings and all that? Or
No.
were they expected to?
I think, well, I looked it up beforehand, of course, and I think they do expect you to cover, like, cleavage and certain body parts, but it wasn't like you had to cover your head because you're not Muslim. So you're unless you are Muslim, I wouldn't know. But if I feel like they would expect it if you are Muslim to cover up your head. And even then, it was kind of like in Cairo, it was a little bit more, to me, it was a little bit more liberal. When I went down sophomore, they were more like covered up. Like, and it was super hot down there. Like, it was at least in February down there, it was like in Luxor, it was like 82. So people were covered up and probably sweating under the guards, but I don't think they put a restriction on a woman. Like, I don't feel like they really look at you like that if you're a woman, like a tourist, and you're not dressed the way they're dressed. But I would say this, it is like you could tell like certain racism over there when it comes to like, this sounds like wrong, I guess, but when it comes to Asian people, I was like in Luxor, like when I was on a tour and the Egyptians walked past, like they would like put slanty eyes on their face and like say like Corona, scream out Corona at the time, because this is when the first this all started. Yeah, I mean it wasn't funny at the time because we were with Asians, so like I felt bad and like I felt like like some sense of like protection, like I had to protect. I felt bad for them. I mean later on, of course, I was sitting there laughing about it because I'm just like, oh, that's crazy because look at everything that's going on now. All of like racist thing that's going on with Asians because of the coronavirus, but that definitely was going on down there, and there weren't no cases down there at all at the time.
Yeah.
But
Too hot.
yeah. I mean, like I said, for women travelers, I feel like, you know, some people are really scared, but I don't think they really sit there and like target you. Like, but when it comes to tourists in general, they do target your pockets. So I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I'm on a trip, I'm a sucker. Like, I spend money. Before I'm cheap beforehand, like the cheap flight, the cheap room. But when it comes there, I'm like, all right, I might be. Like, I bought some oils for like $150. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but they suckered me in. And I bought the oils. Like, and I'm sitting here and I'm just staring at the oils. I'm never gonna touch those oils. So like, they're just sitting there. So
Use them at night. Use to put it in your skin or something.
like, I just stare at them. Like, I'm just like, oh damn. Like, I think they got us. That's a lot of money. Like, cause every time we did a tour, they would take us to a store at the end. They made sure, like, it was just all commission based. Like oh, like, you know. And then after a while, my tour guide, I didn't understand the language, but I could tell he was like looking at me like he's not gonna buy anything. Like, telling the people he's not gonna buy anything. Cause I wasn't. I'm done spending money. I already spent $150 on oils that I'm never gonna use, and I bought all these other trinkets and maps, and I got I don't have it with me to show, but like
Yes.
the hieroglyphs, whatever, the papyrus, your name.
I got them too. They trick you into it. They're so beautiful though.
It's still in the tube. I don't even look. It's still. I don't even think
Frame it. They look really nice.
Yeah, I need to frame it, but
Yeah.
like, that's the thing. Like, I was just spending. I was just like, every time they brought it somewhere, I was like, oh, you know, this is nice. Let me buy this. And I might buy something from one store that's exactly the same thing from the other store, and I'll just buy this one, and I'll go to this one and buy that one because they look a little different. So I was just like, and then you have to sit there and negotiate. Like, Egypt made me a negotiator. Like, they were like, oh, $75 American. And I was like, no, $20. He was like, $10. I was like, $5. From 60 to 20 to 10 to 5. Like,
Wow.
I was just like, okay, you know, like, I'm just gonna take this. I bought the Ankh, like on one of my pictures. I have an Ankh holding an Ankh, and he was trying to sell me that for $60. And I was like, no, this is like $5. He's like, okay, $5. So I just gave him the $5. But it was just like, you have to negotiate. Like, I think in other countries, like I went to Colombia, I was scared to negotiate, but now I'm not scared to negotiate. Like, I'll just sit there going back and forth with you the whole time until I get my price. So Egypt made me a little more, like, you know, headstrong. Like,
Wow.
like when we were at the pyramids, I don't know, did you went to the pyramids? If you you took the camel ride and then they take you to this other, you didn't take the camel ride?
The first time in 2012, yes, but not this time.
Yeah, so when I did the camel ride and they took us like far away from where all the camels are, and then the guy that was pulling the camel, he was like, so can you give me some American money? And I'm like, what? Like, you're already getting paid. Like, we're already paid for this. He's like, oh no, I have a family. I got 3 kids. And I was like, nobody, and I told him, like, he was laughing, but I was like, nobody told you to have 3 kids. That's on you. And then he was like, no, can you just give me some money? And I was like, all right. So we just gave him, he didn't want Egyptian money. He wanted like American money because, of course, it worked more. And he was like, I'll take your pictures. And he would have taken all these pictures. And then we just gave him like $20. And he was like, don't tell my boss. Don't tell my boss. So I feel like everywhere you went, it was like a tourist trap. Like, if we didn't have the one tour guide in Cairo, like, we were trying to get the, what do they call those scarves? And they were trying to sell those for $20 a piece of one scarf for $20.
Wow.
So the guy was like, our tour guide was like, he was talking to the guy. He's like, no, they're not gonna give you $20 for each of those. So he talked the guy down, which he was a good tour guide. Like, that's one somebody I recommend. So if I have to like let everybody recommend, I would recommend him. His name was Muhammad Musa, and he was just later on when our last tour, he literally gave us a hug. He was like, he started crying and everything. I was like, oh. He was like, you guys became my brothers. Cause we were with him for 2 days straight. Like, literally from wake up to go to sleep, we were with him the whole time. Like, he was taking us everywhere.
That is really nice.
He was like, next time.
I mean, negotiate, but at the same time, find those places maybe where you can, like, give away a little, because that's how they make their money. Sometimes I don't fight them too much. I'm like, okay, it depends on the person. Or like, if I go to a market, you know.
Yeah, I did go to the market. I went really early, but then I was happy. Everything wasn't open. Hold on a second. Relatives
We have one question. Sylvia, you had one question?
Oh, more of a comment. I'm one of those Latinas that gets confused for everything. And for a long time, I stayed away from the Middle East, not knowing exactly how I would fit in or whatnot. And then as I traveled more, I thought, okay, the opportunity came up to go to Jordan. But by that time, I'd gone to India a lot and had gotten some Indian clothing, more of the salwar kameez and whatnot. And I found that was an easy adjustment in terms of clothing to where I could feel light and bright and expressive through my clothing while still respecting the local culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if, as Westbrook addressed, as if they're at the beach in the city center of a Middle Eastern city. And I think it's important that we remember that there are cultural differences in that we do get to respect places whenever we travel. And we can still use sundresses, maybe use a cardigan or whatnot, and still dress as we would at home while respecting local culture. I will say that once I got to visit Jordan though, and then then later on Dubai and whatnot, yeah, people consistently speak to me in Arabic, and as soon as they realize I don't even have enough Arabic to say no hablo árabe. You know what I mean? Like, it's I think the communication can be there, the interactions can be there. And I think if you can get a local, I was fortunate enough to meet someone from my undergrad who lived and worked at the museum in Amman. And so always having that local connection, like you said you had in Herkata or whatnot, is supportive in traveling, I think. But then again, I'm also an immersive kind of traveler, so that's just my thing.
Thank you for sharing, Sylvia.
Yeah, I agree with her. I feel like I have connections there now. Like, I feel like the hotel, I built a connection with them. I definitely put them on my Instagram. I was trying to like converse and like goof around with them. Like, they would give us some like free beers. Like, they were like cool with us after a while, because once we left, I did pay for the hotel the first time I went. Like, the first couple days I paid for it. But on our way back from Luxor at the end, I didn't have nowhere to stay. I literally just went back to the hotel. I'm like, I need another room. Like, and they were like, okay, no, it's fine, blah blah. We'll make you pay for one night, because we ended up getting there at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So they were like, oh, we'll just make you pay for one night. Don't worry. Make sure you give us a good review. And then I got their WhatsApp. So I did build a connection with the one tour guide in Cairo.
Awesome.
Like, in Cairo, like, I feel like I got people there. But when it comes to like, I don't never, like, honestly, I wouldn't recommend the train to nobody. One, it's like a bumpy thing. Other than that, I would say like take the plane and experience it. I think people need to experience. Like, I did experience the real. Like, I didn't go for luxury travel. Like, I wanted to like. I kind of like I got what I wanted, even though like I was upset. I got what I was looking for. Like, I went looking for.
Did you do any boating activities on the Nile?
We did not. We like our cruise ship. We would literally, the only boating thing we did was literally go on the top of the cruise ship and then look at the Nile. Like, we didn't get off or do anything like that. Certain places, it was kind of cold at the time, and every time it was getting warmer, we already stopped for the next destination. We were already at the next destination. We were already at the next tour. They were like, all right, 4 o'clock. Like, when we did a hot air balloon, we had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, okay, hot air balloon time. Like, they'll give us a call at our rooms, and then we would just go to the tour. Everything was planned out, so it wasn't like no leisure or anything like you could sit and choose from. Other than that, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I did experience a lot, and I did see a lot more than a lot of other people do when they go to Egypt. I feel like usually everybody goes just to see the pyramids and see the Sphinx and call it a day. but I do feel like I did, experience a lot. So I do have like a lot of feedback for people that do want to go. And like I wouldn't recommend there's a lot of tours that do the same thing that the people that I chose. There's a lot of them, but that was the most economical one for 500. The other one was like 750. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm trying to save my money. So if it's gonna go bad, it's gonna go bad regardless.
So it's pretty much you get what you pay for.
I got what I paid for. I got what I paid
Yeah.
for. Like, I went looking for trouble. I got a little bit of trouble. So, like I said, like every trip I've taken, like it went pretty smooth. Like nothing weird happened. So this time, like I was like, I'm gonna try to go a little cheaper. That was the Middle East, kind of Upper Africa. So let's see how this goes. Then I got what I wanted. So now I learned my lesson though. But I'm still not doing luxury travel. I still like the real. Like I still like staying in the little hotels and stuff like that. So.
Did you go to the Nubian village?
The what village?
Nubian village, which is
the Nubian.
It's you say you went to Abu Simbel, so it's by there. It's like very colorful. That's where the first Black people, I believe, settled there.
Women. So was
I
a women ruled society.
I don't know. They did talk about that, but I don't really honestly, it's a blur right now because when I was there, like it was just like, all right, even when I got to Luxor, I was already ready to come back to New York. Like I was ready to just go home. But I don't think I got to see like any villages, like which would have been really, really cool to see something different other than pyramids and temples and listen to the same stories of Ramses and blah, blah, blah.
Did you go to the tombs in the West Bank?
The Valley of the Kings?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I went to the Valley of the Kings. I don't know if I did take a couple pictures there at the Valley of the Kings, but it was like so overpopulated with tourists that like you're going down in the tombs and you're literally waiting in line like you're going on a ride, like slowly. Like all the way down. And then when you get there, just the tomb, and it's not like you're literally seeing a mummy. I didn't go see the King Tut mummy, which that's what I really wanted to do. But by the time of that trip, I didn't want to spend no more money. I told my tour guide, like, don't take me anywhere I got to spend money. Like, I'm done. So that's something I definitely...
But you went on their high season because the colder weather is their high season. So that's why there are a lot of tourists trying to avoid the heat. So when I went, it's the low season. It was empty. But it was hot.
I'd rather go in the high season than burn my skin off.
Like there was a place that I went, I can't remember the name, but you had to walk. It was like a really long platform, and I felt like my sneakers were gonna melt on the ground as I walked. That's how hot it felt.
Where was that, in South Egypt or North Egypt?
In Luxor. It was in Luxor, but I can't remember.
It's hotter down there. It's 100% hotter. Like, I actually feel like I even got, in Cairo, I feel like I got a little sick because of all the dust you're breathing in. It's mad dusty. And, like, people are screaming in the street, crossing. Like, the street is like, they don't have, like, a sense of, like, traffic lights. Like, it's just beeping, you honk, and they run across the street or they throw stuff in front of the car. I'm just like, I would never be able to drive there, ever. I would never run a car in Egypt. I wouldn't even recommend it.
But Uber is so cheap. So cheap. Yeah. Like they could take you half an hour and it's like $2.
Yep.
The mall there in Cairo, amazing. I'm like, this is here? Whoa. Like many floors, many kilometers of mall. Huge. I mean, the Middle East usually has huge malls. So.
Yeah, like I don't know, like that. It was just the traffic was, to me, it was scaring me because I thought we were gonna hit people, but the driver was so funny. He was like, if you hit them, you give them $20 and they go. I was like, what?
Yeah, but if you're getting an accident.
It was like, you don't even gotta take them to the hospital. Like they were just making jokes about it because like this is what they go through every day. Like it was just, it was definitely like it was one of my craziest experiences, but. Like, I think I needed that break. You know, when you go on vacation, you'll go out to a bar, you'll go have a drink. I didn't do none of that. Like, that didn't happen in Egypt for me. Like, so I didn't, like, I didn't know anything about the clubs or anything down there. Like I asked, and he was like, "Yeah, we got a couple clubs." I'm just like, I don't know if I want to go.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't trust it just being me and my friend.
Mhm.
So it was definitely an interesting experience. I forgot the song. I wish I could remember the song, but fell in love with some rap song that they had over there. So I would literally just like walk around the street and just play it so people could think I was like a full Egyptian, so they won't bother me. Like it was just like a fun. Like I did like a lot of funny stuff over there, but it was just like still like a crazy experience. Like I don't know. It was like I think the most crazy part was the Uber driver though. The Uber driver scared me. That was something I would have like. I don't know about these Uber drivers over here. They're not getting paid much. He said like the $2 you pay.
Yeah. I always gave them tips because I'm like,
I
it
ain't
doesn't
tip.
cost me anything.
I didn't tip.
Yeah.
I did not want to tip him anything when I went
Yeah.
there. That was like too scary for me. I even told him like, "You trying to kill us?" I was like, "You trying to kill us?" He's like, "No, no, no." Like I just don't like. I don't know. Like they just don't. It's like law over there doesn't like. They're just really loose with it. Like they just do whatever they want.
Mhm.
So it was definitely interesting. Like interesting how they have everything set up. The streets were super interesting. Like I didn't expect like I said, I didn't expect all that garbage to be around. I didn't expect any of that.
Mhm.
But I still would recommend people to go.
Yes.
Like this is something I think is like a once in a lifetime. Like that was something I crossed off my bucket list. Like I said, I wanted to go to Greece. I wanted to go to Egypt. I wanted to go to Thailand. Like I did the big 3 that I wanted to do. So there's another something I just did knock off my bucket list.
That is fantastic. Did you guys have any questions? If you're on Instagram, put them on the question mark. And here, just unmute yourself and ask the question in Zoom.
Like you said, you have to be careful in Egypt.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I
Wow.
feel as a man, I don't know, as a man, you're okay. Like I said, like the women travelers, but they're gonna be fine too. But I feel like you're okay. We just have to watch out for pickpocketing. One, you gotta be careful of your surroundings. You still gotta be street smart. Like if you're street smart back at home, you good. But they definitely gonna try to get you for your money. You definitely gotta go. There's a lot of fake product being sold, like a lot of fake things being sold. Just like everywhere else. It's like that everywhere. But like when I went to South America and Central, it's similar things. Like, but they really get you. Like they'll walk with you a mile to sell you something. They're not gonna leave you until you say, okay, I'm gonna sell. You're gonna buy this.
Or you say, la, la, la. La to crown.
My tour guide told me the best policy is literally look straight and don't make eye contact.
Engage.
Like just look straight. And I felt like bad doing that. So like I would engage it like, oh, you want this? And I'm funny and I'm goofy. So I'm like, yeah, of course I want that. And then I'm like lying to them and I'm just walking away like, okay, I was lying. I'm sorry. Like, and then I end up buying it. Cause I'm just like, I messed up. Like I messed up.
I would say for women, when I went, I felt really safe in all of the cities that I went. And to me, it was the contrary. Whenever a man saw me, they will actually protect me. They'll be like, oh, make sure you go this way, or oh, make sure you go here, you do this, you take this train, you take this bus. Don't go with that taxi driver like that. They will tell me. And I'm like, both occasions that I went, super welcoming people, security, amazing security. If you stay in a nice hotel, they have dogs that go around and check the car, and they have like their bomb detectors as well. And I went both times, when I went in 2012 and now, the hotels were very secure. So
no, I can agree with that. I feel like my tour guides and my like hotel, I feel like they looked out for me. I feel like, they guided me right. It was like, oh, don't take this type of taxi, be safe with this, make sure you take an Uber, blah, blah, like take Ubers instead. Like my tour guide, they really looked out when it came to prices and stuff. They negotiated for me sometimes. Like that's why, like I felt like that guy, me and the one tour guide, he felt like he was like our family already. He was like, oh,
Mohammed?
Yeah, Muhammad Musa. So I got
everybody's Mohammed or Mahmoud. And their second name changes.
I seriously was looking like I went on I went on TripAdvisor and I was looking for his WhatsApp. Like I was like, I gotta text my homie. I gotta talk to my homie. Like I gotta talk to my homie Muhammad, see how he's doing with his 2 kids. Like he was like a really good guy, like really good. And he don't sleep. He didn't sleep at all. Like he said he slept like 3 hours and he picked us up the next day. So he was just like running on fumes too, but he was definitely trying to like, he's like, okay guys, this is the end of our tour. I love you guys. I was like, oh, like the only Egyptian word I learned was Habib or whatever. Like I didn't learn anything else. Yeah, Habibi. Like Habibi, like they're very like, they make sure like if they do it with men, like if they see a guy that their friend, they'll call him a Habibi, they'll give him a kiss on the cheek. The first thing they say to you is like, they looked at us and they're like, I'm not gay. I'm like, we're not thinking that you're gay. Relax. Like, it was actually interesting though. Like it happened with both our tour guides. They did the same thing. They was like, I'm not gay. I was like, I don't think you're gay just because you said a hi to a guy and gave him a kiss on the cheek. Like Hispanics do that all the time. Like relax. So that was definitely interesting though. Like how like they're real when it comes to that stuff. They gotta let you know like, no, I'm not like that. But I mean, it was okay. It was just a tough trip. Certain things tough, different.
The timing, the coronavirus, like that may have made an impact. So it's so many things sometimes that can impact a trip.
Yeah, there was a lot of it was certain things you could tell that people Egyptians knew about the virus though. Like it was like they were like definitely like looking at like Asians. There was a lot of Asians on there, a lot of Asians. So they were definitely getting the worst of it. Like they wouldn't even, some people wouldn't even talk to them. So it was like kind of sad when it came to that. But anything else?
Any questions, guys?
I have a question. So when I went to Dubai, people had no idea what Dominican people were or like Puerto Rican people. But you said that people, they thought that you were Egyptian, but your friends, did they look Egyptian as well? And did you guys get questioned at all? Like, where are you guys from? And did you school them at all about what a Latino is?
I did actually. That's a good question. Every time I try to say I'm Puerto Rican, they're like, what? So like, I actually am my screen still shared?
Oh no, I'll have to do share screen again.
No, don't worry about it then.
Okay.
There's a picture I have up that the shirt said, I had a shirt that said Taino, African in Spanish. And everybody was like, oh, you're African. I was like, no, I'm Puerto Rican. Like, so like, so I had to sit there and like give them like the breakdown of like the mixes of being Puerto Rican or being, from the Caribbean, being a Caribbean Latino. I had to like break it down to them. They didn't know what in the world, like, what Puerto Rican was. Like, they were like, what? Like, what is Puerto Rican? They didn't even like, it was like, I would have to say Spanish, and they're like, oh, from Spain. I'm like, no, I'm not from Spain. I'm from this little place that's like underneath Florida in America. Like I did have to school them. I would tell them that I spoke Spanish. Like, and they'd be like, oh, okay, amigo. And I'm like, yes, amigo. And that's it. Like, I'm not going any farther because then we're going to get a little feud.
Yeah.
Like,
you should have mentioned J-Lo. I'm from where J-Lo's from.
They will think of New York because she's technically.
Yeah, no, that's another thing I would have to say. I'm around New York, like, because I'm from Philadelphia. So I'm like, oh, where you from, New York? And I'm like, yeah, New York. I'll just say, yeah, I'm from New York because they don't know anything but New York or California. Other than that, there's nothing else in the United States but New York and California. So I'll just tell them I'm from New York. I'm like, yeah, I'm from New York. And I'm Puerto Rican. They're like, whatever, okay. Like, I was just like, it was it after that. But they did think I was Arabic. I don't think they just always thought I was Arabic. It didn't matter. Because they would like go like this they would go like this, like make a gesture, like this. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a beard. Like, where I'm from is okay to have beards. Like, it don't mean anything. You don't mean that you're a Muslim. It doesn't mean that you're this. Like,
have you done a DNA test before to see where your ancestry is? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it didn't say anything from northern, like Africa.
I got 3% Moroccan. Woohoo! But other than that, like I got 40% from Spain, 10% from Portugal, 20% from the Congo, and what was the other place? Nigeria. Congo, Nigeria. Like, so African, it made up like 22%. And the other one was just basically Spain. I had like a little bit from Morocco, but it wasn't, I didn't have anything else. Like, nothing else European. It was just Spain and Portugal and then Africa. So, and indigenous Indian from native.
Oh, wow.
So,
I mean, there is a lot of influence of Arabs in Spain, so you never know. There is even in Morocco, a part of Morocco that belongs to Spain. Not a part of Morocco, but like right adjacent to Morocco in the African continent that belongs to Spain.
The Canaries.
No, not the Canaries. It's like in the actual mainland, not the Canary Islands.
I've heard of it as
by
well.
Szechuan, around there, because when you take a boat from Spain, passing Gibraltar, how do you say it in English? Gibraltar?
Yes.
Gibraltar is in Spanish.
Yes.
And then you
Culture.
continue, you land in an area in Africa that belongs to Spain, and then you take a bus to actually go into Morocco. Yeah.
yeah.
What?
I mean, I feel like I was pretty solid. I kind of knew where I was from a little bit. Just because, like, my mom is super light and my dad is, like, dark. And I'm just like, and I don't get sunburned, luckily. I'll get either, like, super, like, dark or, like, I'll just stay this color other than that. But I kind of knew, like, from my dad's side, I'm like, all right, well, they're a little bit darker and then my mom's side is a little bit lighter. So I figured, like, I kind of knew it was, like, just a Spain and Africa mix. I thought it was going to be, like, more indigenous. I was very surprised when it wasn't, like, more indigenous Taino. But I learned a lot of history about it. So, like, after I got the ancestry back, like, I definitely dug deeper. And, like, this flag that you can see behind me, I got the Puerto Rican one, and the one underneath, that's, like, the original Puerto Rican flag.
Oh, I've never seen that before. Nice.
So it's at the Taino flag, so the indigenous people of Puerto Rico. And it was, like, a mixture of, like, African and Indian people. Like, it looks like a lot like, I forgot what flag. I think it's the Ghana flag. Yeah.
Very nice.
Any
more questions, guys, about Egypt?
I think we're good.
How were the hotel accommodations where you were? I might have missed that part.
Yeah,
you might have talked about it at the first. If so, you can skip it.
Yeah, you could, like, I mean, if you have any questions, like, personally, I'll send it to you later on. But I stayed at Pyramid Eyes, and from the outside, it looks so rinky-dink. Like, I was, like, nervous. I was like, what am I going into? But then when I walked in, it was super clean, super nice. It had, like, this nice view. Like, I had a walkout balcony, and then the pyramids was behind me. And that's where I took one of my pictures on Instagram. The view was super nice. Like, and it was super clean, and the staff was super nice, and their food there was super good. Like, they bring you, like, I mean, of course you have to pay for it, but they'll bring the food to your room, like room service. It was really good. It wasn't no 5-star. It was literally like a 2 to 3 star. But, like, price-wise, you couldn't beat it. It was like $75 a night for the balcony room, and then the regular room without the view was like $40 a night. So it definitely was worth it. Like, I'll go back to that hotel for sure. Like, if I went back.
Yeah. And if not, there's also, if you don't want to stay by the pyramids, because the pyramids, there is really nothing around there by the pyramids, just the pyramids. And, well, in like a year or so, they're going to have the new museum, but they still building it. You can also stay by the Nile River, and that's where the big hotels are, and they have floating restaurants, and like everything is fancy. You could go to the spas, and, like, you know, it depends on your budget, really.
Nice.
But you could stay in like a more affordable hotel and go spend the day in those other hotels. You could do that too.
Like, I chose, like, I was looking for a hotel with that view, the pyramid view, because I know this is, like, strange, but I had my Instagram picture already planned out before I went there. I had, like, my outfits planned out. So, like, I needed this balcony. I needed this. So I paid for what I wanted, even though I could have actually went way cheaper than what I did the hotel accommodation. But I had an idea of what I wanted a photo to be. So that's the life of travel influencing on Instagram. I already had it planned out. So,
Of course.
it's definitely like you said, there's really nothing around. It's just streets, like streets and streets. But it was still okay. I didn't eat, and actually, the only American place I ate there, I was thinking about this. It was KFC. Like I ate at KFC there, and the chicken was so good. It was not chicken from here. It wasn't this plastic stuff we're eating here. It was like really good chicken. Like so, that was the only American. Other than that, I tried to eat Egyptian food, croissants. I ate croissants like every day. Gained like 10 pounds.
Wow. The February for me was the food too. There, I was like, yo, this food is good.
And we had buffet all the time at the cruise, so it was pretty interesting being at the buffet all the time and just always eating. It was a very, I don't know, a lot of fish. It was everything. They had. I don't eat lamb, but if you like lamb, they have a lot of lamb over there. Of course, you're not gonna really be eating pork. So if y'all are pork eaters, it's not gonna be pork.
Yeah. I had delicious lamb there. Delicious lamb. I'm a sucker for lamb chops. So wherever I go, I'm like, and I see lamb, I'm gonna get it.
I'm not a lamb person, but my dad cooks lamb. Every time he cooks lamb, I'm like, I don't want that. Put it aside. Give me some chicken. Give me some pollo. I don't like this.
If you see on a menu, not the lamb necessarily from the Middle East, but lamb from New Zealand is gonna be the most expensive dish in that menu, and you should get it.
A lamb from New Zealand?
Yeah, when it says New Zealand lamb chops, when you see that in any menu, get it. And you will remember me.
I'll remember it. I'm going to remember you from there.
Yeah, make sure it's medium rare though. Maybe
like,
medium, but definitely medium rare.
And I realized what I don't like, and I feel like I'm judging the whole country. I'm judging Germany because I had a layover in Germany, in Munich. I had a layover, and it was the nastiest airport food of my life. And I was like,
But the airport food doesn't really reflect the country, though.
That country's out for me now. It don't have no seasoning. I need some adobo in my stuff. And it has nothing.
German food is very bland.
Oh my God.
German food is very bland as a rule.
It was like the driest burger I ever had in my life. Like, it was just like, I was like, yo, I was telling my roommate, I was like, I ain't bring no sazon for my burger. It was horrible. And then I had a layover at Vienna. The food in Vienna and Austria was amazing. Like, I'm like, damn, they're right next to each other, and like the difference of the airport food. I love airport food. I eat airport food every time I go to the airport. I don't care if I'm not hungry. I'm gonna stuff my face in the airport. I have to try every food at the airport. Like I gotta try every airport I go to. So, Egypt is a crazy airport, by the way. We didn't talk about that one. That airport is very angry. Like the visa process, I'm thinking there's gonna be a strenuous visa process. He was like, money, 25 now. I gave it to him. He gave me a piece of paper and I left. Like it was organized. It was like, hurry up, like rush. 25. They didn't question you, nothing. They just here, go. Then there was another fight next to the where people pick up their bags. People was fighting. And I was like, all right, you know what? This is a great way to enter Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like
sometimes you can get someone, if you get a driver beforehand, when they meet you inside, they take you through a different line, and you don't even have to get visa. They just take you in. Like when I went, that's what happened to me. Like they just came to get you right by outside the airplane, and then they just took me through a different lane than everybody else.
Oh, you got money.
They stand no, it was $25. $25, and I'm like,
that's $25.
The service, no, but the visa is $25.
Yeah.
So, so it costs the same to get the visa than it costs to get this guy who's gonna get me the visa and walk me through, and I don't have to make the line. So I just paid the $25. It's the same amount, and he was gonna do the job, so I didn't have to.
You know what's interesting? Like how when like Americans. Like when they see each other and like we recognize Americans.
Uh-huh.
You're American. You have Nike with Adidas on right now. I know you're American, but like we like protect each other low key. Like, hey, are you American? Like, can you help me? Do you know where we're going? Like every American I've seen in Egypt airport, they didn't know what was going on, and then we were just like we didn't even know them. We were just huddle up and like, okay, I think we're going here. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, let's stand in line together. Like it's just interesting how like if you're from a country, how y'all like interact when you're somewhere. Like if you see another Latino with you, you should be like,
Yeah.
oh, like
Did you see Latinos by the way there?
None.
Yes, exactly. That's my struggle. That whenever I travel, I could see Latin Americans, like Colombians or Argentinians or Chileans, but not Hispanics, not Latinos from the US. Mm-mm. And
Like,
that's why I created Latino World Travelers, because I'm like,
I know.
where are
I appreciate you making Latino World Travelers though, because I was thinking in my head like, who do I tag in my pictures? Like I was like, because like honestly, like I'm not saying that Latinos don't travel, but I'm saying like it's not as publicized. So like I'm in more like like the Black travel group. Like I'll be embrace that more compared to any other thing, because my friends and where I'm from. So like it's either be with them or be. Like I'm like in the middle. Like I'm in the middle of this. I'm like in the middle of being European and being African. Like where do I go? So like when I found your page, I was like super interested. I'm like, oh, finally, I see something that's like at least closer to me. And like I just thought that was interesting. So and I never see Latino travelers, to be honest with you. Even when I go places, like unless I go to like Colombia or go to Central America or some place in the Caribbean. Like when I went to Thailand, I saw no Latinos. When I went to Europe, I didn't see any Latinos. I didn't see Latinos nowhere. Like I feel like Latinos don't step out their comfort zone as much as I want them to. There's probably a good chunk of us, but it's not as much as the other races or other cultures.
Yeah, but little by little, that's a movement that I'm creating, and I want to encourage Latinos and empower them to not feel afraid to explore the world. And that's why I'm doing these virtual travel parties, so they could have the tools, they could have your advice, they could have all of these people. This is already episode 23, and we're gonna go all the way till the end of April, and then we're gonna start doing it. After that, we're gonna continue. So this way, if people want information about a specific country, they listen to this episode. They're all uploaded into our YouTube channel. So we did Tunisia, we did Russia, we did Japan, New Zealand. We have done so many countries already. So if
So good, Vanessa.
Wants to go there, come listen to people speak about their experiences there, so you don't feel scared to go either. Right? Just like you had the guts to go, Eric, then we will have the guts to also go other places. And I travel on my own normally.
Damn.
So I go. Look, I even went to Australia. I don't even know how to swim, and I went to the Barrier Reef to dive.
Hold up? You can't swim? Come on now. All Latinos know how to swim.
We don't know how to swim. I was raised in the R. How am I gonna know
how to swim? You should know how to swim, Vanessa. If you were raised.
I know. I was gonna take a class here at Stanford, but now everything is locked down, and I cannot take the class.
Oh no! When
you go ocean, so you can learn.
Yeah, when I used to go to Puerto Rico when I was younger, me tiraron en el río. It was like, you better learn how to swim. I'm like, dude, like, you're not getting out unless you come out there swimming. You be dying and stuff, and they don't even care. So like that's how I learned how to swim, a la fuerza. Like it wasn't like me learning with swim lessons. Like they throw you in the river. If you can't come out, you can't come out.
Yeah, but it's like it has to be us, the fearless ones, to inspire the others, so they can do it too.
Yeah, I love like me and more Latino travelers. Like like I said, like just the minority travel movement is getting so big, and like I appreciate it so much now. Like I'm like, damn, this is amazing. Like we got a lot of more Latinos, a lot more Black people. Like it's like amazing to see it. Like, cause I mean, no offense to like white people, but like they already had the industry. They had their industry already. This is their industry. So now to see us getting into it, it's like really amazing to see, and I appreciate it right now. So
Sylvia shared that 11 years she lived in Asia, and she there were only 2 U.S. Latinos other than her that she came across while living there, and they were at the dance club dancing salsa.
And all of us were from California, by the way, and one of the other ones was also named Sylvia. So get that.
What a coincidence. Well, thank you, Eric, so much for giving us all of this info about your experience in Egypt. We, Latino World Travelers, will be planning a trip to Egypt for 2021. Inshallah, let's hope this COVID-19 let's do it.
As soon as it drops, this COVID-19, I'm booking the first plane where I can go. I don't care where they tell me I'm going, I'm going.
And tomorrow we have another episode of the virtual travel party. It's gonna be with Kim, captured by Kim, and she's gonna introduce us to Puerto Rico, Arte en la Isla del Encanto. So I hope you can join us tomorrow. It's gonna be the same time at 7 Eastern time and at 4 Pacific time. So tomorrow is gonna be Puerto Rico. Then we're gonna have Dominican Republic. We're gonna have Mexico. We're gonna have the island of Malta, and we're gonna have Chile as well. So hope you join us in all of the virtual parties of this whole week. And next week is full also with Greece, cruising in the West Indies, Ecuador, Honduras, from France to England. Then the next week, Tanzania, Jamaica, the Netherlands, Lithuania, Indonesia, Belize. So I hope you join us because there's so many countries that we want to introduce you Latinos to. So you can go too, all right? Yeah. Have a beautiful day, guys. And thank you, Eric, again. And let's hope to continue your journey in your Instagram of your travels. And yes, tag us because we will post you.
Of course.
Good night.
Bye, guys. Have a great night.
You too.